All right, Matt Stephenson, and we are back, and really, really cool one now. I am with international man of mystery, Stuart Coulson. You are literally all over the world influencing people in security, but I think you've got a better, accurate description of what you do.
So most people know me from Twitter, but my official title is I work for Cybersecurity Challenge. We're a not-for-profit set up by the Cabinet Office in the UK to fulfil the cyber skills gap, which we all are aware of, the fantastic number of how many gaps we have, but we're here to try and do something about that gap.
And we had a lively dinner chat last night about the buzzword bingo and everything
Absolutely.
that we're seeing that's taking over our industry. What have you been running into? What really is setting your teeth on edge?
So I have a particular affinity with the word cyber, love it. Because our industry is growing so rapidly, everything is falling into our lap. If you try and talk to any layman about what we do, you've got forensics analysis, we've got malware, we've got physical security, everything falls into our lap. Now when you try and talk to someone about it, they switch off because what is forensics analysis? Well, let me explain that one, let me explain this other term. If I say cyber, that's like, it's keeping computers safe. I get that. Cyber, good. Yeah, I get that.
Well, in the fleet of robots that attacks Doctor Who.
Absolutely, that as well. The Cyberman mask should be worn by all of us. But yeah, so I really like cyber. It's a good buzzword. It is being overused, and that's where I say our negativity comes in. A lot of what we see is sales and marketing driven collateral that hits the media as almost like fact. And as a result, we end up with figureheads on media who are effuting and telling how great their product is at endpoint protection, and actually the layman is now switched off again because we're using specific marketing SEO words which actually don't mean a great deal. You know, the word endpoint protection meant something, it doesn't anymore.
I think my parents actually believe there are blimps in the clouds with computers in it, and that is the cloud.
Absolutely. I once did a guided tour around a data center, and I was explaining that if you imagine something about the size of a VCR, that's a server. We have to speak in that term because not everyone's technically enabled, and that's where we are smart in the industry. We do speak layman's terms, but unfortunately the message is now being diluted by endpoint protection, APT. A particular favourite of mine is, I hate it with a passion, is APT. What's it mean? Advanced persistent threat? Not really advanced. Persistent for about an hour. Threat massive. So why don't we just call it's a threat? Let's speak in those simple terms again. It was risk analysis. So no, it's risk, it's threat.
One that we see a lot that actually did mean something was next generation. That was a Microsoft certification, and now everything's a next generation except for the last generation.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything was next generation when it was Microsoft's generation, and that's correct because they didn't trademark it, they didn't own it, but next generation is definitely a Microsoft-owned term at the start. But as things have grown, next gen now means anything. I'm a next gen blogger. I'm a next gen butty maker. It doesn't really matter. Just next gen basically means I'm doing something that seems to be more advanced than one of my competitors. It's not really what it's there for.
So speaking of what's next, where are we going? What are you seeing is coming on the horizon, either from the bad guy perspective, from the protection perspective, like what's really occupying your time?
So I would definitely say coming up on the horizon is the skills gap, massively. We are still struggling globally, trying to find talent to fill the shoes of where we know we've got gaps. We have got senior analysts, we've got senior guys out there who are doing junior work, and that's just not right. We need to start getting more of the youth involved. We need to get some more of that element in. I know kind of that sounds a bit sales pitchy from what I do, but actually I've got kids and they all want to get into the land of cyber, but I've got to wait 5 years till they get there, but I'm trying to keep a passion going for 5 years. The industry needs to support that. Absolutely critical that we all suddenly realise that in 5 years' time, some of these guys will be retiring, some of these guys will have moved off into industry, some of these guys might have done something else and set their own business up. Where's that next generation of people coming through? So that's one thing. And I think the other thing is crimeware as a service. Again, it's a nice, something like cyber as a service. Crimeware as a service is all of the bad stuff that goes on, malware, ransomware, all that kind of stuff as a service. The bad guys are getting so clever and make it once, resell it many times. It's what we do. we do as an industry. You walk around, most of the big shows, you'll see resellers everywhere. Primeware as a service will be a massive feature coming up. So keep an eye on that one, I would say.
So for people that are looking for more information about you, about your company, where can they go?
So Twitter's the biggest thing for me. I'm at SP Coulson, Coulson. Personal blog is Hidden Text. I work for Cybersecurity Challenge, so that's Cyber Challenge as the Twitter handle. I would look for hashtags because we've got some really big events. So hashtag Cyber F2F, F2F, and at Masterclass 17 for this year. Obviously that'll date over time, so just keep an eye on anything that's Masterclass and the numeric for the year. But yeah, apart from that, keep in touch. Anyone wants to follow me, feel free and ask me questions about what I do, or if you've got something you've got a question about, I'll give you an opinion on it.
See, these are the guys that are here to help, and they're trying to fill the skills gap so we can help solve next generation problems with the current generation. I'm Matt Stephenson at PacMatt73. Lots more cool stuff to come.